Hi everybody, I'm Kathleen Byron, and I'm the author of Conversations with Donkey, A Bipolar Journey. What I'd like to talk about this time is something a little different than what I'm used to, although it's one of my favorite subjects, and that's neurology. Now that probably sounds boring to some of you, but this is an interesting subject. It's about love. I wanted to know what helps. What happens neurologically when someone continually is kind and loving to others? What does that behavior do neurologically? Well, here are some of the answers, and you know it's going to be good. When someone continually chooses kindness and love, they aren't just performing a social good. They are actively remodeling their own brain. Repetitive behaviors absolutely build and reinforce new neural pathways. Because of neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life, consistent kindness shifts your neurological baseline. Here's what happens. Rewiring the brain, the synaptic superhighway. The brain operates on a simple rule. Neurons that fire together wire together. When you first consciously choose to be kind, it requires a bit of mental effort. But as you repeat the behavior, the synaptic connections between those specific neurons strengthen. Imagine walking through a field of tall grass. The first time it's difficult, but walk the same path repeatedly, and eventually the grass clears, leaving a smooth, effortless trail. Over time, kindness stops being a conscious effort and becomes your brain's default go-to pathway for processing social interactions. The helper's high. Continual kindness acts like an internal pharmacy, regularly releasing a specific blend of neurotransmitters and hormones. Oxytocin, the cuddle hormone. Actively expressing love floods the brain with oxytocin. This deepens emotional bonding, increases trust, and directly signals the amygdala, that's the brain's fear center, to dial down anxiety and stress. Dopamine. Acts of kindness trigger the brain's reward system, causing a spike in dopamine. That's a good thing. This creates a mild, euphoric feeling, often called the helper's high. Because the brain loves dopamine, it creates a positive feedback loop. Kindness feels good, so the brain motivates you to do it again. Being kind boosts serotonin, the neurotransmitter responsible for mood regulation, satisfaction, and well-being. This is the same chemical that many antidepressants try to increase. Structural changes. The prefrontal cortex strengthens and thickens. This is the area responsible for high-level thinking, emotional regulation, and decision-making. Stronger PFC. I'm missing part of the words here. Sorry about that. The amygdala decreases in reactivity and size. The amygdala is the smoke detector, responsible for fight or flight stress response. The insula and anterior cingulate cortex increases gray matter density. Now we want to talk about vagal tone and the nervous system. Kindness doesn't just stay in the skull. It travels down the vagus nerve, a massive nerve highway that connects the brain to the heart and other vital organs. Continual loving behavior improves vagal tone. A higher vagal tone means your body can transition out of a stressed sympathetic state, fight or flight, and back into a calm parasympathetic state, rest and digest, incredibly fast. It literally teaches your heart and nervous system how to remain resilient under pressure. In short, by continually choosing love and kindness, a person is physically thinning out the neural pathways of fear, defensiveness, and stress while building massive, high-speed structural superhighways for empathy, calm, and joy. You are quite literally rewriting your own biological code. And that's all I wanted to share with you about that. Obviously, the ending of this should say, love everybody. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.